So that we can all work together, huh? We are working together. And we are keeping to time. Okay. And we are sharing money together. Very important. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, they're a newly wedded couple. And we would just like to have a word of advice before we get into the other activities of this ceremony. So to give them a word of advice, we would like to quickly invite on stage Mr. Crisanto's godmother, the person of Madame F.A. Baxter. I hope I didn't murder it again. All the way from France. Ladies, let's put our hands together for Madame F.A. Excellent.
I'm not really used to this at all, but I'm going to make an effort. Thank you so much for attending this lovely wedding. So my name is Ifeoma. I met Emeka, I was only 14 years old. And today he's getting married. And when he told me I was going to get married, I said, if you want me to attend, you have to put it like July, August. And he said, it's going to be complicated, but there's no way I won't come for a later wedding. So I made a surprise. He didn't even know I was coming. I made it yesterday night. I was talking to everyone, and he didn't know I was here. I saw him in church this morning. My son is Luca, he's his best man. He's Emeka's brother. So Emeka, I think you already have the best advice for anyone there. Because you're going to be a special man, a well-behaved son that we all grew up to know. Your mom and dad is a very good job, and it makes this better happen. And the only thing I can do for you is to pray that God should give you the knowledge to communicate, to love your wife, respect her, and she will do the same. Yeah, that's all I can pray for. In the mighty name of
Jesus. Zero, extraordinary every day. Very soon, Steph, you will get Indian name. She does not like Nene. Oh, she likes football. This marriage will last. Please one more time, let's give a round of applause for this time, Mrs. Ikeh. Without further ado, we would also like to recognize the presence of Mr. Ima Alabo. We'd also like to recognize the presence of Mr. and Mrs. Olumeya, Mr. and Mrs. Olubakinde. We'd like to recognize the presence of Mr. Martins. We'd also like to recognize the presence of Mr. and Mrs. Ojo, the presence of Mr. and Mrs. Austin Izwage, also Mr. and Mrs. Nicholas Izwage. We'd also like to recognize the son-in-laws from the Ikeh family in the presence of Mr. and Mrs. Osahon, the person of Mr. and Mrs. Ude, and Mr. and Mrs. Maduago. Thank you so much for joining us. Your family, your family, your family, and we love you dearly. Okay. It is now time for them to perform their first duty as a couple. We would like to crave the indulgence of our highly esteemed guests to give them their space so that they can have this romantic moment alone. DJ Kuzi, I'm sure you're ready with the couple's first dance song. And also, I know we're trying to capture them, but we can also give some space so that our guests can view the couple while they're having their first dance. If we have any pyrotechnics or anything, fireworks, let's get them ready. I'm going to give you exactly 2 minutes for that. Meanwhile, DJ Kuzi, give us